What is gwan in peeps? What is gwan in? It's Valerie's Naturals, Oracles. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that I do videos about 3 times a week. I have some catching up to do. So I thought today I'm not going to do a live. I'm just going to do a recorded video. And I might do an extended for my Patreons because they get all the extended. So anyway, but if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the alert bell so you know when I'm going to do another video because they get deep. Anyway, less said about that the better. Let's get on with it. I've got out my favourite cards. These are my favourite oracle cards, the wisdom of the oracles. I've got so many, but I go back to these time and time again. And I want to get some messages out first of all, and then we can actually get some cards going with it. And I might do an extended. I don't know, just see what comes out. So, Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, thank you for your guidance, protection, assistance. Please give me the message for the collective. What messages do we have for the collective today? Thank you, Spirit. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, thank you for your guidance, protection, assistance. Please give me the message. What messages do you have for the collective? Please give me the messages. Beloveds, guides, ancestors, angels, please give me the message for the collective. What do you want to tell us? Okay, let's get some cards out and see what the hell's going on today. I've not too long done our spirit. Yang! Yeah, now, Yang is about the masculine energy. So I want to see, before I say anything else, I'm getting domination, masculine energy. Why am I getting that? So the next card, no place like home. No place like home. Oh, I'm getting a story here. Okay, one more. Poised. Okay, so what do you know what I'm getting here, people? I'm looking at these cards because sometimes with these oracle cards, I can read them like tarot. And for me, it's like a masculine energy, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could be a man or a woman, same sex, non-binary, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. But this is all about the masculine energy, okay? A masculine energy realizes who you are. No place like home. Are they poised and ready to come forward to you? Are they poised and ready? What is it? I'm looking at these cards and I'm thinking, do you know, there's all sorts of things going through my head as well. And I'm getting like somebody could have been quite abusive, or somebody could, I don't know why I'm getting the masculine energy being quite a nasty character. But they've realised who you are. They've realised what this is all about. They've realised what it is, and they've realised what they did. But they still want to come back. They still want to come back. And what is this message about? No place like home. Was you home to your person? You must have been home to your person. Do you see like a house in the sky? It's like at the end of the day, when they were doing their nonsense in the background, you was always the one that they could rely on. But this poise could mean 2 things. It could mean you're poised and ready to move on, okay? And or they're poised and ready to move back towards you. But do you want this? I'm going to take one more card. One more card, and then we're going to move into some tarot. But yeah, this is somebody that is a soulmate. For that to come out like that, oh my goodness. But what I'm getting here is this, I don't want to go with the abusive. Maybe they had narcissistic traits, or they were manipulative. But what I'm getting here is somebody masculine. When you see masculine energy come out like that, it's like control. It's like somebody wants to control a situation, or they want to control you. I don't know, but that's not even funny. Let's get some cards out and see where we go. I'm going to get another one of my favourites out today. I'm not going to use these. I used these earlier, but I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot and see what comes out. Okay, because what we've got here is a doozy of a story already. Does somebody somebody wants to come back, and they are somebody that you felt a connection to. Somebody, but they were, do I go, excuse me, do you know what? When I start getting like that, it's like spirit is talking. Spirit, I talk to this, spirit, I talk. Because it's like, what I was going to say was, it's almost like it's a little bit abusive, a little bit manipulative, somebody who thought you was always going to be there. And it's like no place like home, no place like home. It's like when they do their nonsense at the end of the day, they want to come back. You could have gone all the way clean, divorced them. You could have gone all the way clean. Do you know what I mean? Move countries, move states, move cities, move towns. You could have gone all that way, but this person, no matter what they do, they're going to hunt you down. They're going to find you. And I shouldn't say things like that, but, do you know, truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. Truth is stranger than fiction. Oh, I don't want peace. What's this coming up here today, Spirit? I don't know, but, like, it's almost like there's a masculine energy here, because there's no doubt it's a masculine energy. Okay. Did they see you as no place like home? Is that what it is? And they're poised and ready to come back because they realise what the situation is now. Wow. Okay. Yeah. They realised who you was. The Queen of Cups. Somebody who's, do you know what I mean? Loving, caring, who has high intuition. Somebody who they could rely on. But you're not that person anymore, are you? Not that you're not that person. It's not that you're not taking any liberties anymore. And look, the conflict card is here. The conflict card is here. You found this person to be conflicting to you. You had to do something about it. Let me just double check these. Look, what's at the bottom of the deck? 7 of Cups. Illusion, confusion, somebody who had choices. But anyway, let's see what else is coming out here. Yeah, there was no give and take in this situation. Somebody wanted to, it's like a masculine energy. I'm not saying it's always a masculine, I mean, the yang has come out, but so like somebody who wanted to dominate a situation, but were like breadcrumbing. They were doing, I'm just getting out cards. Look, yeah. And this is a match as well. This is why the soulmates are here. Look, we got the King and Queen of Cups. Okay. And this is why the soulmate is here as well. This is somebody, and I'm going to go, it's probably deep. I'm going to go deep now. But somebody knew who you was. They saw your light. And they saw your light as competition, or they saw your light as conflicting to them. They wanted to hold you down. It could be, and I get this message a lot, it could be revenge. It could be something that happened back in the past and they're still holding that grudge. But when people do that, it's because they have problems. They can't let the past go and move on. They can't confront people and ask the question. When you get people like that and they're not asking questions, then, you know, if somebody did me wrong, I would ask the question. I had something like this morning. I asked the question and thought, you know what, I don't even care anymore. Do you know, because you do nothing but give your best to people and you know, they don't explain themselves. They just disappear. And that's fine. Do you know? But it's like karma is a wonderful thing. Karma is a thing, like, you know, karma is a wonderful thing. That's all I've got to say on that. But it's like, is it competition? Is it revenge? Is it, you might have done something to this person in the background, but they're not explaining to you what you've done. And that's fine. They can keep it open-ended. All you can do is forgive and say love and light and move on. That's all you can do. But this, in this situation here, this was, this is a soul connection, a soul tribe, somebody who you had some strong emotional connection to. Because soulmate wouldn't come out. This is the only card in the deck, in that oracle card, besides loyal heart, that indicates anything to do with any divine connection. Okay, and then when you get pairs, it's like this was somebody you could have even known in a previous life. What's coming out here? Yeah, look, judgment. Is this person now being judged? Are you judging this person because of what they've done? And I'm thinking, and I might have to clarify some of these cards as well, because what is the conflict about? We're going to have to find out what the conflict was, because I'm getting things like they were abusive, evasive. They were manipulative. But they were your divine counterpart, and they just refused to give and take. They thought they could take, and you will always be there to do it. But you made the judgment to move away from this. Let me see what else is coming out here. Yeah, you see, they were deceptive towards you. Look, this is what I'm doing is the path. I'm doing the path, okay? And directly underneath that, because I usually read it up and down as opposed to across, but because I was taking the cards out one by one. But let me tell you something. This person was manipulative, deceptive towards you. They were sneaky. Whoever this person was, they were very sneaky towards you. And I'm getting they were even abusive in their own way. I mean, it doesn't have to be physical abuse. Mental abuse is still abuse. Sometimes mental abuse is worse than physical abuse. And I don't want to say that about a divine counterpart, but do they realise who you are now and they want to come correct? Who's to say? But let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. Because what I've got here is, yeah, they've come to a higher learning, higher understanding. And maybe it could, there's two things I'm saying, because I'm talking to the collective now. There's two things here. They could have come to a higher learning, higher understanding. They've had to learn the lesson. Okay, and maybe spirit tapped them on the shoulder and taught them a lesson. Maybe karma came to visit, but conflicted. They're now conflicted as to what to do. They're conflicted as to what to do because they knew they wasn't giving give and take. They were breadcrumbing. They were doing all sorts of nonsense. They probably had other people in on the act as well. Some of these people had people in the background telling them what to do to be how abusive they can get to see what you could take. And because you probably knew this person inside, or you thought you knew this person inside out, or you thought you knew these people, you thought, oh, maybe they're having a bad time. Maybe they're just, you know, they're having a bad time. You had to walk away from that. You had to walk away from that. Spirit attack to this, spirit attack. It could, do you know when you see these two, and that's the other thing I meant to say. My old age is catching up with me. I meant to say that these people could have been, you could have been married to these people, or they could have been married and you had to, and you found out and you had to walk away, or your intuition told you something wasn't right and you had to walk away. It was conflicting, but we're going to find out in a minute what this confliction is about, because I'm going to actually clarify that card, because I want to know what it was. Was it revenge? Was it, do you know what I mean? Was it, did they have somebody in the background and they were playing games? And now this King of Cups is now in regret. When you see somebody, you see in these cards, when you see somebody holding their head like that, they realise what they've lost out on. They may have won the battle, but did they win the war? Do you know what I mean? They did what they did in spite. And could have been envy. They did what they did in spite and envy, and because they thought they could get away with it. And this person, this King of Cups, do you know what I always say about the King of Cups? They have great love, but they know how to hide it. And you see when they're breadcrumbing you, they hid it like a marfo. They hid it like a marfo. And now it's a problem to them. Because they knew they were being deceptive. They knew they was being deceptive in some shape, way or form. But they could have been, do you know what? I don't want to say physical abuse, but sometimes when I see cards like this, when I see this kind of thing, some of them could be quite abusive, deceptive. They find conflict in you, all sorts of nonsense. They found conflict where there was none. Do you know what I mean? They found conflict where there was none. Or they just wanted to do their own thing and had view in tow, keep you trapped. And look, this is about slow and steady. This is about slow and steady. Did you slowly come to the realization who this person was? Did you come to the realization of who this person really was for real? And even though there was a divine counterpart, and I keep saying it, this Erykah Badu song comes out, I'll meet you in the next lifetime. Go and look it up. It's Erykah Badu, I'll meet you in the next lifetime. May I tell you, people, you made the judgment and you slowly moved away from this. Do you see somebody walking away? Again, although this is the Eight of Pentacles, this is somebody slowly realizing and making the judgment and having the discernment to understand. Because do you see, look, spirit, this is spirit contacting you, spirit telling you what, your intuition kicking in. You made the right call, the right judgment. You made the judgment, you made the call. Now, I'm not saying all of them. It could be just as mild as, oh, they were playing manipulation games. But some of these was like physical, and mental abuse. Passive aggressiveness. All that kind of nonsense. And if you don't know what passive aggressiveness is, they use your insecurities against you, and then they turn it around on you. So they will find out what your insecurities are and then turn around and use it against you. And that's passive aggressiveness. So it's manipulation. Any form of manipulation. It's like they ask you about yourself and then they turn it around. They turn it around against you. It's height of manipulation. Wow. And now, does this person want to heal this situation, or have you healed yourself? I'm getting more inclined that you've had to heal yourself. That is so. You've had to heal yourself. And you know what this is. This is somebody you've known from a previous life. This person, all they're doing now is you're living rent-free in this person's head now. And that's just what's going on here. But I want to know what this conflict is all about. So I'm going to flick some extra cards here and find out what this conflict is about, because the deception as well. I don't know. This deception thing is not funny, but how deep does it go? Anyway, let's find out about this Five of Wands. Why is the conflict here? It's right next to the Six of Pentacles. When you see the conflict and the Six of Pentacles together, that's definitely a one-sided situation. They were really one. And if you see the way these cards have come out, I've got the Queen of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Now, automatically, if you was just giving it the straight message, it was, there's this loving, caring person who was conflicted about somebody being one-sided, and it was their divine counterpart, or somebody they was in a relationship, or somebody who they were married to. It could have been one of those three things, but immediately, and so you had to make the judgment, and that's how the cards have come out. Now, if you want to read it up and down, it's the same thing but a longer story. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so we need to know what this conflict is about. What was you conflicted about? Why you had to walk away from this situation? You saw the breadcrumbing. You saw the one-sidedness. You saw the person not giving that equal give and take. So it's like, what's the conflict about? Why was you conflicted? What was the conflict? Thank you, Spirit. Please give me the message. What was the conflict? Was it because they were married? See, that's come out twice now. It's because this person's married and they didn't tell you. The High Priestess. Are they married to a spiritual person? Are they married to somebody who's spiritual and they knew what they were doing? Communication. Do you know what it is? Because this story has moved on. I'll tell you what it is. This person was deceptive, okay? And now they're conflicted because they've come to a higher learning, higher understanding as well. They did what they did, okay? They've now come to a higher understanding that you was their light, okay? You might have showed this person. It's almost like there was a lot of things you didn't show this person. And because you didn't show this person a lot of things, they took it that you was just not worth being the person they're supposed to be to you, okay? But now they've realised and they want to communicate. But they can't because you've walked away from this situation. And now they're stuck in their head. This person is, what a bungo wungo. Because they realised who you are. You're this High Priestess. You're the boss bitch, the boss man. And they didn't realise who they were dealing with. You was an earth angel to this person. Trust and believe. You was an earth angel to this person. And they didn't realise until it was too late. They had influences in the background giving them all sorts of nonsense. They could even be, and you know what I'm getting here? When I see masculine energy as well, and I hate to say it, some of these people could even be gay or they're into same-sex relationships and they're hiding it from the world. But you might have seen that as well and just said, let me just tip out of this situation because this person hates women or hates men for a reason. Some of these people that are gay, Okay, they hate women or they hate men, and they think that women are just here to serve their purpose. Okay, and it's usually because they're gay or they're into same-sex relationships, but they're trying to hide that, but they don't know how to. They're probably in situations where they have to hide who they really are, so they have to put up a mask to the world. But what do you do with those kind of people? What do you do with those kind of people? And say it really is a divine counterpart, but they're into same sex, but they feel this yearning towards you and they don't understand why. They're into same sex, but they feel that they need to have you as well. What do you do in those situations? That is a good question. That's a good question I'm going to have to find the answer to. Let's Learn Monday. I do Let's Learn Mondays on Patreon. And I must admit, I have missed the last couple of weeks. I was in a downer, so I took some time out. And obviously, sometimes people don't understand these things and don't ask questions. So it's like they just duck out and do all sorts of nonsense. But that's another story. But, you know, people, all you have to do is ask. I'm not like an unapproachable person, but all you have to do is ask. But I'm digressing here. But here's what's going on here. It could even be same sex. And they've been hiding it all their life. And as a result, they hate women. And so they've turned themselves towards, you know, and this is why the yang energy is here as well. Was this person gay and they're hiding it? Was it that they just had, or they're just narcissistic and they deal with both men and women? Do they do something in the background that they don't want you to find out about, and they just put up a mask? Do you know, dare I say, I'm getting images of escorts. I'm getting images of people that do prostitution to make money and pretend like they're poor. I get people that are they're of the streets, they're of the night, they hustle, they sell weed, they sell. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting a lot. I don't know why all that is coming through, but when I see this kind of energy, that's the first thing that come out is a masculine energy against a Queen of Cups. That's a conundrum. What do you do if your divine counterpart, it's a hetero, it was originally you were just friends, okay? And this person's actually secretly gay, but they're your divine counterpart. What do you do? What do you do in those circumstances? I guess you can be divine counterparts or just be friends, I guess. But would you want to be somebody who's a friend like that who can't confide in you? Because I'm getting, this is like, sometimes it's people that you've known for years and years and years, and they don't trust you to confide in you, but it's okay to manipulate you. And the conflict with this person is that they see your light. They see who you are now where they didn't see it before. Because you're too loving and caring to this person, but it's because you deep down trusted this person, or you deep down thought it would work out, or you deep down thought this person I could trust because I've known them. Don't ever, and that's another lesson I've learned and people should learn, just because you've known somebody for years and years doesn't make them trustworthy, doesn't mean that they're automatically going to be there for you. That is not the case. You have to be careful sometimes. You could know somebody 30 years, and the minute that things changes, they turn into somebody else. Their mask drops. Do you know? So you have to think about these things. It's not everybody, because all they did was manipulate, and they could have been abusive. This could be something as strong as being abusive to somebody who was just playing manipulation games and being passive aggressive and behaving like a narcissist, or behaving like somebody who wants to control situations. I buck up on people that literally, like, especially masculine men in particular, masculine men. I've buck up on people in the past, and maybe it's cycles I was going through, but they literally hate women, and they're not telling you they hate women. They just think women are there for their bidding or to use you. So all you're good for is someone to plow and to cook their food. I once asked somebody the question, okay? I asked somebody the question, you think you're the, ooh, beat your chest man, okay, and you want this feminine woman and you want her to submit to you. What if that woman works just like you do? What happens when both of you come in and there's no food in the house? What are you going to do? And that person turned around and said to me, I want you to cook. And so what do? I empty the bin. I do the handyman. And what if there's no handyman stuff to do around the house? Are you not going to stand in the kitchen and help me cook? No, that's not my job. That's your job. So your job is to work, and I'm working too. So we're both working. So what are you going to do? Because I've done a full-time job and come home. You've done a full-time job and come home. Is it fair that you're not pulling your weight in the house, but because you want to be the masculine and be controlling, that I must carry on and slave out myself and kill out myself for you when you sit down and watch me? Is that fair? And 9 times out of 10, men are not built that way anymore, but especially the older generation. And I can understand with the older generation, because women didn't used to go out and work. But when a woman's going out there and doing a full-time job, okay, don't expect her to come in and pamper into your every single need, especially if there's children involved. Even if there's no children involved, it don't matter. Both of you gone out and do a full-time job and you want to come with that nonsense. Go with that. Bonfire for that. Go and get takeaway, mate. Go and get takeaway. Take me out to dinner. Because if we're both working, that must mean so that there's not like we're not going to be short of money. If both of us are working it out, all right, in these days with the economic climate, it can be a bit dodgy. But if both of you are working and your bills are minimum and, you know, and you're both, who's to say? But I ain't living with somebody like that. If you can't pull your weight just like me and be of equal standing, be a partner. All right, men sometimes have different roles from women, because if you're dealing with masculine and feminine, okay, with the masculine, they're all about action. With the feminine, it's all about intuition. With those two combined, it makes a perfect partnership. But when some people go astray and don't realise, because even being in the masculine energy and hating women, it's almost like being in your feminine energy. You come in with a passive aggressive, that's feminine traits in a man. When a man wants you to chase them, that's feminine energies in a man. They've got too much feminine, not enough masculine. And that's also, and it's a horrible thing to say, but when men start behaving like that, it's almost like, are you gay or something? I shouldn't say things like that, but that's very controversial. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now, because this is definitely deep. But I'm getting like, because again, this morning I did a daily spiritual tea, and it was all about addictions and sex addictions and drug addictions and all this. And sometimes people behave in these ways and behave very imbalanced, because the give and take here, the imbalance. When people start behaving as being imbalanced, it's because they've got addiction sometimes as well. And I did that this morning. It's almost like a follow through. It's like people do things when they're not in their right mind. And when they get in their right mind, they say, oh my God, what have I done? I've messed that up. Sometimes they even forget they do things, and it's only when it's too late they realise what they've done. A lot of these people do it intentionally, but sometimes it's affected by their addictions. And if they're not getting what they want, some men are just there to use women, full stop. You know, you say something to them like, oh, I really don't like you wearing that. Well, why don't you buy me something else then? That's a red flag. Okay. If you say, oh, I don't like something, you say, all right, then I change, you know, it's what I like, so I'm going to wear it. Or, oh, maybe you're right. Let me just go and change it. You don't turn around and say to somebody, well, buy me what you think is right then. If you don't like it, buy me what it is then. That's a red flag. When somebody's not buying something, like you go out and do shopping and this person wants to eat the shopping, but they're not doing any shopping themselves and they have the money to do it, that's a red flag. This person is using you. This person wants to get what they can get from you. This person has an agenda. That's intended. That's intention. See the red flags, people. That's all I got to say, because this is like abuse, manipulation. You know, I don't see, to be honest, I don't see any third party here. This is purely about a person who could have been a divine counterpart or who you could have had a good life with. But because of the trauma they've been through in previous, it could even be, it could be karma they've brought from previous lives. And people don't believe in these things sometimes. But I'm telling you, in the Buddhist community, we believe in karma that goes through lifetime after lifetime. But each lifetime you come into, you don't know what the karma is, what you brought from you don't know what the karma is that you brought from the previous life. But it affects you. But if you go through your lineage, or if you go through generation after generation, there is certain things that is always popping up is the same. And that's the karma. Go back and look. Go and see what your mum went through. Go and see what the previous person went through. And I'm thinking of it already, and I can see it. I can see the karma. And people don't realize that these things, this is like ancestral karma. You're taking it from lifetime to lifetime and not learning the lesson. And this is what these people don't seem to understand either. Karma is real, people. Karma is real. So when I start talking, sometimes I do it in a flippant way, but I'm being serious today. But karma, karmics, all these things exist. A karmic is just somebody who's there to teach lessons. Karma is called lessons, whether it's good karma or bad karma. And that's all there is to it. But I'm preaching to the converted now. I'm preaching to the converted, but as somebody... This person, they've seen their error, or they will see in the future that they want to heal this situation because they realise what this is. This is probably somebody you've known from a previous life, somebody who's followed you from lifetime to lifetime. Whether they're good karma or bad karma, I don't know. But this person is certainly going through their own karma. It could be that they behave this way because of addictions. And I had this morning. I actually did a daily spiritual tea for my Patreons this morning, and it was about addictions, and it was about, trying to find healthier choices with addictions. And like with this, when people get that far, they really do need help. They really do need help. But sometimes you're not qualified to do that, And you could have even turned around and said to somebody, I really think you need counselling, and they ignore you. And I said this morning as well. If somebody is not ready to actually admit to their addictions, there's no way you can force them because they're on the inside looking out. You're on the outside looking in, but they're on the inside looking out. And when these people have addictions and they don't want to see it, there's nothing you can do about that. They've got to hit their bottom. They've got to hit their bottom to the point where they're just struggling. They've got to hit their bottom to understand what their addiction is doing to their life. And, everybody has their vices. I used to smoke 20 a day, But you have to find healthier choices. Now, if you drop one addiction and go to another addiction, that's another story. That's another story entirely. You dropped one addiction, but because of that, you've added into another addiction now. And that says a lot about the personality as well, doesn't it? So, I'm going to leave it there, people. That was deep. That was deep. Wow. I'm definitely going to leave it there. So, until next time, people, take care, okay?